Welcome to the Brother Seamus Show. I'm your brother Seamus. That is our studio audience that you are seeing there today. They prefer to remain anonymous. There we go, people. This was previously recorded. Welcome to the show, everybody. TL Prosser, Rick, Gus, Casey, User, 54, whatever, Norman, Friedman. Welcome to the show. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That's right. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. There we go. Let's get full screens display. This was recorded earlier. Don't get too excited. This is not live. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now I know it says truth bomb memes down in the bottom corner. That was an old brand, but it survives. Truth bomb memes survives, I believe, only on Facebook. I believe only on Facebook is where you can find Jan Truth Bomb memes. But the beats remain. This is the Brother Seamus Show, where I always bring some beats with me. Oh, we got a feedback loop going here, people, like I've never seen before. I'm just gonna let it roll while I get my coffee. Let's see what happens to this screen. It seems to be getting pulled into some sort of black hole. Ooh, look at that. I need echo on my voice for this, don't I? Come on now. Come on. Come on. Let's just do a concentric circle and see how thick we can get it in the center. I think that's what you're supposed to do. It's like massaging the clitoris or the tip of the penis. You're just supposed to go in nice circles, you know? Don't rush it. Don't rush it, people. This is probably not the best show for kids, but I mean, it's up to parents. The worst thing I'm going to do is drop a F-bomb once in a while. I might use the penis word. I might say the word vagina. I might say it. So look at that. I did that by accident using a program called OBS, and I'm also using TikTok Studio Live. And OBS lets you show what's on your display, but then if you show the display on the display, it starts to get a little bit, wacky. It gets a little wacky is what I'm getting at. We seem to have lost our beat. The studio audience is just looking at me like, hey, bro, where's the beats? You promised us beats today. Welcome to the show. I'm streaming live on TikTok and YouTube at the same time, so give me some comments if you have questions. I almost have 1,000 followers on TikTok, so Carol Leglater Jayhawk, if you want to follow me, then I might someday get to 1,000. It's all on you, Carol. I know you just wandered into this stream and then you're like, oh no, how do I get out of here? Why is he talking to me? This is the Brother Seamus Show. And I'm not fully dressed yet, and I don't have my coffee. So I just came in on my bicycle, and it's cold in here. So I want you to understand that I don't always dress like this. I'm not, I'm not unaware of what my attire projects to the audience. So I'll be back shortly with proper attire. I'm actually barefoot right now, too, which is neither here nor there, but it adds to the crisp coolness of my studio. If you have something to say, please call me at 509-676-6032. I've been having some technical problems with my phone, so if you call and it's all echoey, I would say maybe pause your live stream, either on TikTok or YouTube, and then call the number, and maybe we'll talk. I got a call yesterday that was kind of freaky. If I can isolate it, I'll play it back for you. Not freaky, but it seemed like this guy was just screaming bloody murder about something, but I could not discern. I felt like it was seemed like a wrong number to me, is all I'm going to say. Seemed like a wrong number. This is the Brother Seamus Show. I think with the help of my friend Will, I've detected what the noise was in my previous broadcasts, and it was the aux 2 reverb level was turned all the way up, and I think it was just making a consistent, quiet essing sound, kind of like old cassette tape, which I don't mind. I don't mind that old cassette tape sound, but, when you can get rid of it, all the better, right? This is a homemade beat that you're hearing. I'm going to turn down my vocals just a little bit because I'm running up a little bit high, folks. You don't want to get too high. I'm going to run it at an even 10 dBs for my vocal mic. So give us a call. We'll get your voice on the air one way or another, but you may have to be patient with me. I think that's all we can do for each other, right, people? We can be patient with each other. Hey folks, welcome to the Brother Seamus Show. Let me know how your day is going. I'm going to put up a poll if you're on TikTok. If you're a TikTok person, I'm going to put up a poll for you. If you're on YouTube, welcome. Please ask me questions and comments, and I will look at them. I promise I will try to answer. I'll try to answer everything I can, or you can just sit back and enjoy the beats. You can enjoy our eclectic studio audience. Which democratic nation is the best at voting? Does anybody know the answer to that? And I gave you 5 choices: USA, Sweden, Portugal, Uruguay, or Texas. Which of those democratic nations is best at voting? In other words, which of those democratic nations has the best voter turnout? It's usually expressed as a percentage. Now, I'll give you a hint. One of these democratic nations, and by democratic, I simply mean that the political power rests with the people, and the people pick their leaders. Democracy at its most basic. But one of these countries routinely hits over 90% turnout. So get on over, if you're on TikTok, at Brother Seamus Show is my handle. Get on over to TikTok. I don't know if you have to sign. Does anybody know? Do you have to sign up to watch TikTok? Or can you just watch a live stream? Like, let's say, the Brother Seamus Show. They probably really, really want you to sign up, I'm guessing. We can talk about abortion today. We don't have to. We can talk about my studio audience. We'll see what happens, people. The best way to talk, though, is to call me at 509-676-6032. That's just a suggestion, though. This is from an old episode of a show I called Truth Bomb Memes, which was what led to the Brother Seamus Show. This is probably, I don't even know, 2018 maybe? I'll have to check and see. A slightly different studio audience back then. Actually, I want to go back to that real quick because I wanted to do a little manipulation. Oh yeah, look at that. Had the laser, so that dates it a little bit. Maybe it's not as old as I think. Uh-oh. Strip tease, people. Nah, just kidding. All right. That is enough of that. Ooh, ah, ooh, ooh, ah, ah, ooh. So, your brother Seamus believes that abortion saves women from death by miscarriage, and the reason that I believe that is because it's true. It just happens to have truth on its side. And I know a lot of you want to believe it's a baby, but you're tricking yourselves. You're tricking yourselves with the baby stuff. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be snarky. And I do think if we talk about things in a rational, calm state, that's why I try to keep the vibe kind of calm over here. I think if we can do that, then we're going to be okay. But there's definitely, with social media, I think they're linked. There's a strong slide to what we would call right wing. We can call it that. All this stuff about Republicans and Democrats, people, that doesn't, it doesn't amount to much. It doesn't amount to much, the Republicans and Democrats thing. It doesn't tell you much about a person. This is the Brother Seamus Show, and this is Wicker Basket performing our currently our church music, we'll call it. Ambient music by Wicker Basket. You can find Wicker on SoundCloud. He just released a couple things, I think in the last 6 months to a year. I saw some new tracks over there. We might take a bebop on over there in a second to check out his new work. But I fear going over there on SoundCloud, and it's not his fault, but that's where loud commercials are waiting to pounce on us. So if your wife, if your sister, if your mother, if your daughter was having a miscarriage, wouldn't you want her to get actual, proper medical care? Because that won't happen now because of extremist laws in Georgia, Texas, Alabama, and a host of other states. Idaho, I believe, is doing this. They're actually telling women who come into the emergency room, in a sense, what they're saying is, hey, we have a procedure that works. We have a procedure that works. You just can't have it. You can't have it because we call that procedure an abortion. Technically, I think it's known as a D&C, but they call it an abortion, so you can't have it. So even though, whether you chose to try to terminate the pregnancy or whether you're having a miscarriage naturally, doesn't matter, because the law says you can't have the D&C, or to the doctors in Texas, you might face 99 years in prison if you provide an abortion to a woman whose life is not at immediate risk. So what happens? Well, the doctors don't want to go to prison. The hospital lawyers advise them against providing the abortion, except at the very last second, and often by then, women die. They just do. That's just a scientific fact. It started happening almost immediately after Roe versus Wade was struck down. Almost immediately. We're just learning about it now. It's been, I think, about 2 years since Roe v. Wade kicked in, and states like Georgia and Texas had laws ready to go, maybe already on the books, just waiting for the Supreme Court to clear the way so that they could deny women a procedure that would save their lives. Now they get to deny it to the women, which I consider, and I know this is upsetting stuff, but I just have to get it out there. And then we'll talk about other things. it simply allows them to cause death through neglect. Because nobody's actively killing these women. They're being killed by the healthcare system, being bullied. And that's really what it is. It's a form of bullying, people. We all know what that is. You bully, the state legislature bullies, the Attorney General Ken Paxton in Texas bullies women, bullies hospitals, and bullies physicians into not providing the standard of care. And here's the thing that blows my mind, people. Do they really think that's not going to come back to bite them? Does Greg Abbott really think he can just let women bleed out and die of infection and that's not going to kill his political career? It's a big gamble, isn't it? So your brother Seamus, he doesn't want to just complain. Right? Brother Seamus wants to offer some solutions or get ideas from you. What might your solutions be? I don't see a lot of support for the fact that someone's sister, mother, daughter might die in the emergency room through no fault of her own simply because of a strongly held religious belief. But here we are. It's 2024. It's 2024, and that's what we're doing. Did you ever think it would get to this? I sure didn't. So what are we going to do? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? You want to help? The studio audience definitely wants to help. They're excited. They're excited about what we could do. One thing we can do is physicians, OBGYNs especially, need to lock arms with all physicians and create a legal defense fund. So from start to finish, top to bottom, if you try to save a woman's life and you get indicted by Ken Paxton and the state of Texas because you provided a DNC, aka an abortion, that doctor should be fully protected, fully protected. That physician shouldn't have to worry about a thing, including ongoing income. So they need a defense fund. So you need money, of course. It's always about money, right? So physicians need money. They need to be protected. I think it should be a national group because they're going to, who knows what states are going to pop off. You don't want to start just state level groups. So you start a national group that protects physicians with some kind of, I don't want to call it insurance because it's a legal defense fund, which comes with loss of income. That way the physician can go to court and say, look, had I provided Nevaeh in Texas, had I provided her with a DNC immediately, she may have survived her complicated miscarriage. But instead they sent her home twice. And I think she died. She was already having severe cramps from a miscarriage. She did not want an abortion. She was not seeking an abortion. She did not want an abortion. She didn't believe in abortion, and she died. And you can look it up. Look it up yourself. Her name's Nevaeh. She's from Texas. I'll show you the article here at some point, but I'll probably put a link. I'll put a link to it in my my YouTube. But just go to ProPublica.org. You can read about how Nevaeh died because she was denied service. And this happened a while ago, so I want to reiterate this point. This is one of the most important things, and this will be on the exam, is we don't hear about these deaths right away. And now Brian Kemp, Governor Brian Kemp of Georgia, is trying to make sure you don't hear about them at all. So instead of saying, oh my God, we went too far with these anti-abortion extremists, we went too far, we hitched our wagon to people who want to commit a quiet genocide against women. Doesn't matter what their belief in abortion is. They want to commit a quiet genocide. And I think we just have to keep saying their names. We have to keep saying their names. If you're following me on TikTok, or if you're watching me there, I would love for you to follow me. I'm almost to 1,000, and I've heard that like fireworks go off when you get 1,000. Something like that. I realize my image is a little dark, and I'm going to fix that in a minute, but I kind of like this look. It's very silhouette-y. Do we always have to have a bright light in the face of the host? How about just a little? Let's try just a little light. You're enjoying some music by a musician named Wicker Basket. You can find Wicker Basket on SoundCloud. He's got some new stuff out. Hey, that's a little better. How's everybody doing today? I'm your brother Seamus. I'm a psychologist and an entertainer and I've become an abortion rights activist. I think the biggest mistake we've made as supporters of abortion, I don't care what political party you're in, you might be a conservative who understands that you have to give women access to health care and that you can't hijack their bodies. But the biggest mistake we've made is we haven't been pro-abortion enough. And I know that's upsetting for some people, but now if we don't stand behind abortion, they're just going to keep unaliving women by denying them health care. Some of you may not have heard that that's happening, but you're going to begin to hear about more and more and more. Unfortunately, despite my lapel pin, some people in Georgia and Texas and other states have put people in the state house that are putting women's lives at direct risk by saying the procedure you need to survive a miscarriage, if you have complications, let's just call it that, because there's probably a number of things that can lead to the quote-unquote miscarriage. But let's say you're having complications of, in general, a miscarriage, and we know how to help you. The procedure is a D&C. Everybody knows that. And they say, nope, not for you, because we've decided that the undeveloped embryo or the fetus, which has no brain activity in any way resembling consciousness. There's nobody in there. It's a vessel. It's an airplane without a pilot. But we're going to say that's worth more than a fully grown woman who's otherwise healthy. And wait till she's to death's door. That's what these laws have done. Because people will say, they'll argue on here, oh, well, there are exceptions, for the life of the mother. Yeah, let's see how you enforce it. How do you enforce that? The doctors don't know what that means. And they don't want to face 99 years in jail. That's just in Texas, by the way, just to be clear. The 99. Now, I think in Georgia, they threaten the physicians with about 12 years, maybe. I just can't believe we're doing that. I really can't. I've never seen anything of this sort where we take, even if it's a small number, because I'm going to go ahead and anticipate some of the comments. Some people have been commenting, and I think you really should stop and think about this comment. You're like, well, it's not that many women. It's only, 0.0 whatever percent. It's like, okay, what if it's only a few hundred women across the whole country in a year? Are they disposable? Well, it's not that many. Well, do you want someone you care about to be told, we know you're bleeding out and you're septic, but you're going to have to wait because you're not close enough to death yet? And most of the physicians in these cases, I think, are going to argue, you made us wait so long that we could not treat this person. We lost control of the illness. The illness took over. (509-676-6032). You don't have to call and you don't have to comment, but if you have questions, please give me a call. I'm going to reset my cameras a little bit. Please enjoy the Wicker Basket. You can find him on SoundCloud. He's what you would call an ambient electronic musician and beatmaster. We'll just take a little visual tour of my Brother Seamus studio here in Walla Walla, Washington. There's the dressing room and where we hold our, weekly selfie Zoom meetings. There's the lighting booth, which isn't lit up right now. Let's go ahead and light up the lighting booth a little bit. We should have a little disco ball action here. Or dance lighting. Cue dance lighting, please. Brother Seamus is not only the host of this show, but the technician. Camera operator, lighting, sound. The whole dilly. The whole dilly-o. Let's see if we can just get a little shot of that side of the room. There we go. That's not too bad. Hello? Hello? Oh, they got away. Hey, is this the Brother Seamus Show? I was just calling to see if this is the Brother Seamus Show. And if it is the Brother Seamus Show, why is there no logo? How can you have a show with no logo? The people cried. And Brother Seamus complied. Because they were right. The show should have a logo. I used to have a logo. Let's see if this one works anymore. This one says it's a Brother Seamus logo. Let's see. I don't see anything. It's probably too big. Hey, thanks for the hearts, whoever's doing that. It's very nice of you. I'm thinking it's Firefly from Hell, which is a great name, by the way. Firefly from Hell. I'm going to follow you. You've requested. Okay. I feel like I may have tried to follow you before, but thanks for the hearts if that's you. Oh, you're very welcome. Oh, there's my logo. Let's see if I can get, there we go. All right, now I can see the comments. And I can see myself. That's kind of the goal. But that logo is blocking the screen, isn't it? So let's fix that. You know, Firefly from Hell, we don't want our logos to be sloppy. I'm guessing you might agree with me on that. All right, that's not bad. Phone number looks okay. Do I want to move it over more? No, it looks good right there. Brother Seamus Show. That might be a little bit big. Let's shrink it just a snudge. Just a snidge. And this music's hitting me a little loud too. All right, let's see how that looks. That looks pretty good. So, we've been talking about abortion, but you can tell me about how your day went. You can, very true. It's very true, Firefly. You mind if I call you Firefly for short? That's a pretty cool nickname, by the way. That's a very cool nickname. As far as nicknames go, if I had known Firefly was available as a nickname, it just didn't occur to me. It just did not occur to me. Oh, it's from Hook. Gotcha. So those of you over on YouTube can't see Firefly from Hell's comments, but she, he, they, them is explaining the source of her handle, Firefly from Hell, from Hook. I don't think I remember that, but I assume it's referring to Tinkerbell. Is that correct? Because I love Tinkerbell. I'm an OG Tinkerbell fan. I mean, they're all good, but I'm just not as spun up on the on the latest iterations of Tinkerbell. Although I wouldn't be surprised if I ended up watching. I have a new great nephew, actually two great nephews. And I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up watching that movie at some point. Although I don't think either nephew really has a single movie they like now. They like little shows, especially about numbers for some reason. They're mathy kids. Oh, it's when Tinkerbell flies at Robin Williams in the beginning. Oh. You know what? I might remember that. It's just been a minute. What year was that film? Does anybody know? That's a good trivia question. Who can answer it first? I bet Firefly from Hell's going to win the trivia question. And then I'm going to give her one of my gifts. No, they won't let me do that. Since I'm streaming, you can give me gifts. I can't give you gifts. 1991. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, that was... what was I doing in 91? Let me think about that for a minute. 89. Oh, I was just about to finish. Well, I was at mid-graduate school in 91. Mid-graduate school. I believe I was driving a Ford pickup truck. Not the big ones, the smaller ones. Thanks for that, Firefly. 1991. I was poor, but I didn't care. One time I was driving my Ford pickup truck. It was a Ford Ranger, one of the little ones. And I was driving it across the Missouri River. If you ever traveled through St. Louis and you go north of town on the interstate, and then there's a bridge. It's not a huge bridge, but it takes you into the border of Illinois, or it takes you into Illinois. And I had my mattress in the back. And I looked in my rearview mirror and I saw a mattress flying through the air like a frisbee. And if I remember right, it careened through the bars of the bridge and made its way out into the open airspace. And it just flew away like a frisbee. It just slowly spun out of sight. And I sort of laughed thinking, oh, somebody lost a mattress. And then this whole thing probably took like 5 seconds. And I realized, oh, that was my mattress. And it flew so far away. It flew so far away that I didn't even think about turning around because it was probably down on the riverbank somewhere or in the tall grass, filled with ticks and chiggers and mosquitoes. And welcome to the show, Mike. This is the Brother Seamus Show. I'm pushing hard on the abortion topic, but that doesn't mean it has to completely take over the show. Because some people just don't want to talk about it, and I don't blame them. I hope you'll enjoy this show as a cable access late night TV show, so that you can just kick back and listen. If you have something to say, though, I'd love to hear it. And don't forget, if you're on TikTok, we've got a poll. Firefly, if you're still watching, I'm wondering what the user experience is like on the other side, because I don't see any indication that they're running a poll. So let me know if you see it. It's not critical. This camera looks like it needs a little work over here. I think we got to go more and down. More this way and down. This is the Brother Seamus Show. Let me know how your night's going. And as always, remember that the fight against fascism is a marathon. It's not a threat or a sprint. It is a threat. I almost said it's not a threat. It is a threat, and we have to fight. And a soft genocide, a quiet genocide against American women is one sign that we're experiencing, you can call it doesn't have to be the word fascism. It's rule by rich bullies who do whatever they want. We used to call them kings. Now we call them technocrats. Firefly from Hell, who's over on TikTok, is mentioning that she's read On Tyranny by Timothy Snyder. It's an awesome, awesome book. And it's not a long book. It's just kind of an explainer on what tyranny is. That's probably the best word, though, now that you say it, Firefly. Dictators, tyrants. The isms have kind of become meaningless at this point. So, do you want rule by the people and fair elections? Or do you want really, really rich, bloodthirsty people to be in charge? That's kind of what we're up to these days. And in my mind, this soft genocide against women in anti-abortion extremist states is just a sign of that thing we call fascism, which is tyranny, which is brutalization of people who've done nothing wrong. Often it starts with dehumanizing comments. So when Mr. Trump, the candidate, President-elect Trump, said that the Mexicans are sending rapists and killers and drug dealers, he's trying to get you to not think of them as humans so that you can brutalize them. It can occur on the left or the right. It doesn't matter. What matters is that we've got a new player. We've always had, look at Hitler. He didn't have social media. We've always had people like Hitler. But social media has made it easier for them to get together. So even though I do my show on social media, and at some point I hope to be live on every app at the same time, which is going to be hard to do. I'm doing YouTube and TikTok at the same time. So I think we'll get there. But my point is I'm on social media to denounce social media. I want you to not trust social media, which ironically means I'm asking you to trust me. But talk to your people. What I think humans need to do, and this is just coming, this isn't therapy, but this is my prescription for people out there. Don't base your reality on the social media experience. Talk to your community, the physical people who live around you and your family and your friends, whether they're spread out or whether they're geographically close to you. That's your community. Talk to them, because some of them care about you and you care about them and you disagree. But if you'll talk to them respectfully and they'll talk to you respectfully, you might actually expand your mind, right? You might expand your mind. I'm not saying I have all the answers. I'm just saying don't get them from social media, including me. I don't think the human race was ready for social media. We forgot how to keep things private. Like when I was a kid, we had neighbors that had all kinds of different religious beliefs. We were Irish Catholic over there, And then there were some Latter-day Saints across the street, and we just didn't talk about that shit. When they went to church camp, we were like, see you after church camp, and then we'll be like, hey, have fun at church camp. We don't need to argue about if they're the one true faith. You know why? Because they live right across the street. So I'll support their right to believe what they want to believe. But we get too deep into it, unfortunately. And the social media algorithm feeds the panic, it feeds the fear. So let's see, Alpha Dude, 1957, said my mother had 5 miscarriages, she didn't die. And that's great. That probably says a lot about, your mother's body's ability to defend itself from infection. But some women, it's just random, Alpha Dude. It's not like, you can study for a test and be good at miscarriages. But some some percentage, and I think it is a small percentage, some mothers can die from a single miscarriage, just like Nevaeh did. And we know how to save them. We just don't do it because the doctors got scared and bullied. Which your comment reminds me of, dude. I was trying to list off things that we should do to deal with this. One is, of course, take care of yourself, get healthy, because you're no good to us if you're all tired and stressed out and having panic attacks. So take as much time away as you need. Seriously, go distract yourself. Go do some hobby that you always wanted to do. Like I always wanted to get a dirt bike. I've never ridden a freaking motorcycle in my whole flippin' life. More than half a century on a planet, and I haven't ridden a motorcycle over trails, dirt trails and ramps. What the hell have I been doing, people? So go do something fun, get away from politics for a while, and tell everyone you know to get the hell off of social media, including the Brother Seamus Show. If you comment here today that you're going to quit social media altogether, including my show, I would say, hallelujah, man. Hallelujah. So, Alpha Dude, I'm not picking on you, and I think you're giving some honest commentary there. Your comment is using a form of reasoning called inductive reasoning, where you go from a very specific example of something like your mother who survived. If you're telling the truth, 5 seems like a lot, but some people back then were trying to have kids all the time. Her body was having more miscarriages than some women would have, but she was also able to withstand them. But that was a single person. And then to say that that applies to the rest of women in society, that's a faulty, we'll call that faulty inductive reasoning. You went from a specific to a general, but unfortunately your mother's experience may not be typical, right? It's another way to think of it. In statistics, we would say your mom is an outlier, which is not bad or good. That's just, everybody's born with probably everybody's born with at least 1 or 2 characteristics that are outside the normal range, right? But Alpha Dude 57, you make us think about another important point, which is even a handful of women shouldn't be dying from miscarriages. We already know, the physicians know what to do. They're being stopped from doing it. And that is why I push the abortion issue. And I think men got to get in the game more, of course. All right, let's shift gears a little bit. That's enough abortion talk for now. I want to play my new track that I just got back. Well, this is a rough cut. People. But before I play that track, I also want to call my own show and see what happens, to see if I can hear the audio in here or if I'm getting an echo. Let's see if we can hear this caller. We've got a caller on the line who happens to be calling from a dripping kitchen sink. Let's see if we can isolate that sound. I'm going to have to pause Brother Wicker for just a second. I'm not seeing any audio from the phone line. I think it has to be I wonder if it's under the advanced properties. That would be my guess. Andrew Young, thank you. This is a great joke. I'm not sure what you mean. Tell me more, Andrew. You're ignoring facts. I'm ignoring facts? Tell me more. Tell me more. I'm not picking on anybody. I just want to know what you mean specifically, because I can't tell. I'm going to say monitor and output on desktop audio. And then let's go play. Let's play this voicemail. Aha. We're not getting it, people. I hear it in the headphones, though. Well, thank you. Thank you, sir. Oh, let's see. What else could this be? So it's picking up.
Oh, this is Cliff at the Kent County Road Commission. I just want to thank you for the service that you're doing for free on the internet. We got a lot of guys out now clearing all the ice and snow so people can get home safely. And
Okay.
the free entertainment and spiritual guidance that you're providing the citizens of Kent County is greatly appreciated. Thank you for drawing some recognition to all of that.
Well, you're very welcome.
And
you're very welcome.
just want to let you know your YouTube signal is working correctly. And
Excellent.
We are
Excellent.
receiving it loud and clear. So, again, keep up the good work, and God bless you, boys.
Thank you. That was Cliff over at the Road Commission. Let me see if I've missed anything. Andrew, thank you. I think you're being nice or you're being snarky. I don't know. Everybody should read On Tyranny by Tim Snyder. He's a professor, I believe, out of Harvard. But you should also call my show, 509-676-6032. I want to check the phone line here. I think we're on a call. Oh, no, it looks like it hung up the call. Well, that's too bad. So no wonder I'm not hearing the caller. I'm gonna play my new single, if y'all don't mind, while I reconnect the phones. This is called Whole Head, and it's by myself, and my cousin is the music producer to this. I hope you'll enjoy it. would like to have a more whole head. The whole head. This is the Brother Seamus Show. That was Whole Head. Whole Head by what we're calling, my cousin and I are calling this configuration Ogopogo. Ogopogo. So I'll put a link to that when it's done. It's not quite there yet. And let's play a message from Cliff. Let's play a message from Cliff and see how it sounds on the old OBS box. So I'm not hearing anything. Oh, he's coming through the headphones, though, isn't he?
You for drawing some recognition to all of that. And just want to let you know your YouTube signal is working correctly, and we are receiving it loud and clear. So
thank you.
Keep up the good work, and God bless you, boys.
Thank you, Cliff. That was a lovely call. So I think I barely understand how my own audio works, but I think now if somebody calls, it will... okay. I have to address some comments, but it should work. No quarter, Nixie, I'll be back in a minute. You're absolutely incorrect. No quarter, I'm not picking on you. A DNC is an abortion. That's what an abortion is. You remove the fetal tissue with suction so the uterus can stop bleeding and so the infection will stop. And that's what they're denying. So for those of you who didn't see, the comment is saying, that's not called an abortion, that's medical care, a DNC to be exact. Well, and no quarter, I'm not picking on you, but if that was the case, then why are doctors refusing to give DNCs? Because they know that the law includes DNCs. Under the abortion doesn't just mean one thing. But when you remove fetal tissue from the womb, that's an abortion. But let me see if I can get a caller on the line here. Okay, I think we have a caller on the line. How are you today? Nice to hear from you. I'm not getting any audio from this caller, but let me turn it up a little. Peter Riley 2. That's not an uncommon reaction, but Peter, look how deep into your emotions you are here. It's murder. Well, how is it murder if it's not a person? It doesn't even have a brain. How can you murder someone that's not even alive, really? It's gonna be alive. I know it's upsetting, but... So Peter's saying, try to turn it any way you want. It's still murder. 3 exclamation points, fire symbol. And what I'm saying is that you're exhibiting the problem that I'm talking about, which is people are getting so upset. And we don't stop to think about, wait a minute, there's no conscious person here. That means there's no one to feel pain. Yes, there are nerve responses going on. Nobody's questioning that. But there's no one to receive the signal. It's a plane without a pilot. And when we take abortion away from women, we end up killing them, regardless of what they think about abortion. That's Amber. She left a 6-year-old behind. That's Candace. She left 2 children and a husband behind. This is Portia. You can read these stories on, I forgot to put the display in there. Sorry about that. YouTube people weren't seeing any of those images, so let me fix that real quick. Which display do we want to use? I guess we'll use this one. We'll go full screen over here. And then we'll go full screen over here. That's how you do it. It's hard running 2 streams at once because the one is forced to go through TikTok's own program, their broadcasting program. Uh-oh, I may have created another wormhole, people. I did. Look at that. I accidentally created. Oh, that's pretty funny. All right, let's get out of there. Okay, so I did not mean to make this one full screen. Let's go the E. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's Portia. Portia died because she couldn't access a DNC because the government of the state of Texas or the states of Texas, Georgia, Alabama, Idaho says that a DNC is an abortion. That's what they say. They say a DNC is an abortion. So then, and for those of you that are conspiracy theorists, don't bother their families. But if you don't believe that real people are dying, you can travel here and look at her gravestone. You could visit her at the cemetery. And if it was a conspiracy, that would mean her entire family, all the neighbors, the people at the hospital, that they're all in on some kind of conspiracy, when really the conspiracy is that governors like Brian Kemp and Greg Abbott have decided to let otherwise healthy 35-year-old women die preventable deaths. And instead of fixing the law, they're so emboldened. Instead of fixing the law, they're simply going to try to cover up the deaths. And that's where your brother Seamus comes in. Not going to do it. I can hear my voice echoing back from the kitchen, which means that my audio is connecting with the caller in the kitchen. But I don't hear the caller talking back. Maybe it's just too quiet in there. I don't know. So Amber, Candace, Portia, and Nevaeh. I'm forgetting somebody. I'm going to call it death by intentional neglect. And make no mistake about it, the man who put Donald Trump, or the man who put 3 justices on the Supreme Court who overturned Roe versus Wade, that's why this is happening. Trump's going to try to use his patented weave to say, well, I gave it back to the states. That's a good thing. The legal scholars said give it to the states. No, they didn't. Some legal scholars said that, but some said as soon as you give it to the states are going to harm women. And they did. They did exactly what the other experts said. But Donald Trump won't tell you about those experts. Oh, Joselee. Almost forgot about Joselee. She left someone behind. Now, again, these deaths occurred a couple years ago because it takes a while to investigate. Joselee Barnica, there you go, people that want to say it's conspiracy. First name, last name. She's from Houston. She already had a daughter. She was hoping to give her daughter a sibling. She was 17 weeks pregnant, and a miscarriage was in progress. She was looking forward to giving birth, but she only made it to 17 weeks. And you know what? Mother Nature does that. Mother Nature is a mad scientist, and Mother Nature decided that Joselee didn't get to be pregnant anymore. And the grief is real. I'm not trying to say people shouldn't be upset about that. Let's be honest. If you really thought that you were at the end of the process, you were going to have a little baby and a sibling for your daughter, you're going to have a lot of grief. But that doesn't mean we should anthropomorphize a fetus. So Joselee's fetus is trying, Mother Nature said it's not going to work, so you got to go. But it didn't work all the way. A commenter earlier was noting that his mother, he said she had 5 miscarriages and it didn't kill her. And I am happy for her. It's a lot of miscarriages to go through, but not everybody's the same. And even if only 1 out of 100 or 1 out of 1,000 women die, as other commenters have seemed to suggest, that letting a woman die is okay if it's not too much. If the process doesn't cause harm to too many women, then it's okay. I'm being sarcastic. I hope you're picking up on that. So Joselee died, left a daughter behind. You can read all the details, but the story is shockingly similar in 4 out of 5 of these cases. There's Joselee with her daughter that she was hoping to bring a sibling for. And then Nevaeh, let me show you her picture, and TikTok's yelling at me because I'm not on the screen and they get mad. A third woman, okay, where's the other link, people? And we should note for my peeps in Missouri, I want you to know that your state legislature is trying to take away the ballot initiative that you just passed. Are you going to let them do that? They want to make abortion illegal, and the ballot initiative that just came out stops them from doing that. So even though it was voted in by the people, it may have been somewhat of a narrow margin, but it was still voted in. They're going to take it away. And then you'll have teenagers like Nevaeh. You'll have them in Missouri, too, where she spent 20 hours. This is a relatively healthy 18-year-old girl, spends 20 hours being told they have to wait for quote-unquote fetal demise. And she died. Those are the 5 names we have so far. I know there are more coming. And what do I want to say here? This can't go on, This can't go on. This is just bonkers, folks. We cannot keep doing this. It's 2024, and we're going to let women die when there's a procedure available that would keep them alive. That doesn't make any sense. I have to put my puzzle piece in the empty puzzle piece slot on TikTok, or it thinks that I'm not. I don't know what it thinks I'm doing. But if it doesn't see my face on screen enough, then it tries to shut off my live stream. But we were trying to do our slides there, people. We were trying to get our homework done. Trying to figure out why I can't hear the caller in the kitchen. Drag the puzzle piece, it's telling me. I'm trying to drag the puzzle piece. Oh dear. Drag the puzzle piece. Can I drag this thing around? No, it won't let me. All right, I'm dragging the puzzle piece into the puzzle. Are you happy, TikTok? Yay, I passed the test. Let's try one more thing. I think I need another. Let's see. Desktop audio. We've got monitor and output. Let's do monitor and output on another desktop. Desktop audio 2. And let's see if that helps. We're going to have to say unhide all. Let's hide those two back. Don't need those guys. Desktop audio 2. What are you sending me? Speakers. Let's try. I don't know what to try. Let's try that and see. So desktop audio 2 is what's coming through the speakers. Okay, we played played. Whole head. We've had some church music too. Let's play a different. Oh, let's go back to the beat. I think it was this one here. Let's get that beat going. Doom, tuk, 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 doom. There it is. What you're seeing right there is what TikTok Live Studio looks like. I don't think it's that helpful. I wish they would just let us use OBS. If you're listening, TikTok, OBS, Open Broadcasting Source or System, I can't remember. It's one of those things. But let us use Open Broadcasting Source, TikTok. We don't really need this software. You're reinventing the wheel. We can link into a chat session with the live video still. You just don't need to do all this stuff. I mean, it is kind of interesting that I can turn the image on the side and do whatever I want. However, it's overall not that helpful. Let's get some more music going. Oh, there we go. What's this guy doing? Well, let's see. We've been going for about more than 90 minutes, so I think we've run. I'm going to say we've run aground here, but I want to do a couple things before we go. We played that. Let's play some more. Let's go back to some Wicker Basket to close it out, people. There's young Wicker there. Now we're getting on audio on all these channels. Hello? 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 Still not getting anything on the telephono. Let's try to play this. Interesting. So over on the TikTok, young 6.0 Vortex Zero says, abortion saves lives by killing lives, like your post said. It's a swing and a miss there, 6.0 Vortex. Swing and a miss. Good try, though. You're doing what's called a false equivalency. You're saying that the life that is developing, the developing life, is the same as the life of a full-grown, fully functioning human who possesses consciousness. And you're engaging at some level in what I referred to earlier, which is anthropomorphizing a fetus, right? That's the thing that you're doing. You're saying basically this developing human, I like to think of them as potential humans. They are on their way to becoming human, but they're not there yet. There's nobody receiving the information. There's no consciousness. There's no self. And keep in mind, on the other end of life, if somebody has a horrible accident of some kind, what happens? Pretty much all of us agree when that happens that that's not the person anymore. Once their consciousness is gone, we don't really think of them as a person anymore. Even though we might say, some people might say for religious reasons that you should keep them alive, but I think most of us realize that when there is no consciousness, there's nobody there. It's a vessel. It's an empty vessel. So there aren't lives being sacrificed to save other lives. You're trying to 6.0 Vortico wants you to fall into a trap, which is that they're both equal, and one hasn't even started yet. Vortico wants you to compare seeds to apples and claim that they're the same thing. To the Brother Seamus Show. 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to the Brother Seamus Show. Welcome to the Brother Seamus Show, people. We're about to sign off. I want to thank everybody for coming in today. Welcome to the Brother Seamus Show. If you want to support Brother Seamus, welcome to the Brother Seamus Show. The best way to do that is to bebop on over to Humans for Democracy. Bonfire.com, Humans for Democracy. And you can buy our merch there. Let me check and make sure that... let me get the display up here, people. Welcome to the Brother Seamus Show. Welcome to the Brother Seamus Show. 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to the Brother Seamus Show. 1, 2, 3. So if you want to support us on the Brother Seamus Show, you can. There's a link at the top of. There's a link at the top of my profile page on YouTube and on TikTok, and it'll take you to bonfire.com, where you can get your very first Proud Snowflake coffee mug, people. Proud Snowflake coffee mug. It only comes in the light blue right now, and I'm not sure why that is, but get yourself a Proud Snowflake coffee mug. You'll be the envy of your workplace, if you still have a workplace post-COVID. And if you're not a proud snowflaker, if you think that really means anything important and you don't want to be associated with being a snowflake, what I would say is buy one for your snowflake friend or family member, because every snowflake has a Trumper friend and every Trumper has a snowflake friend. I don't really believe in political parties, but I do believe that immigrants make great Americans, and you can buy your t-shirts to support the immigrant community. Any money collected on the show goes right back into social media advertising, trying to bombard people with the idea that abortion rights are human rights and that immigrants make great Americans and we should not dehumanize other humans. I'm not even a Christian, but I know Jesus was right. I'm not even a Christian, and I know Jesus was right. Be kind to your neighbors. That was his number one rule. Fight against racism actively. Your brother Seamus believes in active anti-racist activities, and we can talk about that another time, but get yourself an anti-racist t-shirt. The main idea with anti-racism is don't just simply say you're against racism. Like, let's take some concrete steps to help society heal. A less racist society is a healthier society, which means it's better for all of us. Getting rid of racism and sexism is also good for white men, and I think white men forget that, to our peril. Let's not forget the young women, Nevaeh being the youngest of them so far. She's from Texas. She died because she was denied abortion care. Abortion saves the lives of full-grown adult humans who happen to have a uterus that is malfunctioning. It's barbaric. It's a form of genocide. It is. I know you don't want to think of it that way. It's a form of genocide, people. It's just a quieter genocide. It's just a quieter genocide. Young Wicker Basket has provided a lot of the music today, as well as my cousin Sam Kenny. I want to thank them for that. You'll probably meet them on the show at some point. I do interviews sometimes. Right now I'm still just getting used to all the hardware and the camera angles and all that stuff. But I want you to be kind to each other, and I want you to understand that the idea of dividing people into Republicans or Democrats is kind of like that famous psych study where they divided people, college kids, into prisoners and guards. It did not go well, if you're not familiar with that study. Philip Zimbardo, I believe, was the researcher's name. You can Google it. Just Google the prisoner study, psychology, and you'll read about what people do to each other when they decide they're from different groups, and especially if one group has all the power. It's not good, people. We have certain urges that we're not good at controlling. So one of the reasons I stand firmly against the candidate from Mar-a-Lago is that he makes distinct, clear efforts to get white people to be afraid of immigrants. And yes, of course, immigrants commit crimes sometimes, but they don't commit crimes any more than white people do. Every time you show a horrific story about someone being murdered by an immigrant, show at the same time period how many white male U.S. citizens committed a similar crime, because you'll see that crime exists in both cultures. There's no real difference. You know why? Because humans are humans. Every group of humans has a criminal element, and it's unfortunate, but it's not because they're from one group or another, people. Come on now. That'll be on the exam, by the way. Well, there's our closing music. I hate to go, but I've been on here almost 2 hours now, and I don't want to go over 2 hours because that seems excessive. I hope you'll listen to this at night, and I hope you'll go over to SoundCloud and check out, let's see if I can pull him up over here real quick like. Check out Wicker Basket on SoundCloud. So it looks like, as one might expect, if you get yourself over to SoundCloud /Wicker Basket, you can check out his work. So give Wicker Basket a listen. Send him some shekels. Send him a little cash or something. know what? I can't resist. Let's just sample. Let's do a quick sample of some Wicker Basket goodness. This is Wicker Basket's ambient stuff that you're hearing right now. And I use this a lot on the Brother Seamus Show. But let's try something. Let's put a pause on this one. Let's see what Feeler WIP sounds like. They might hit us with ads. If they do, we're going to have to skip out. There you go. Oh, that's Feeler. We're having a little bit of playback problems here. That's not Wicker's fault. His music sounds... Oh, no! No, no, no. No, goodness gracious sakes alive. All right, so that was a little taste of Wicker Basket. I hope you'll get on over to SoundCloud /Wicker Basket. Grand Rapids. Wicker's a long way from where we film. All the way out there in Walla Walla, Washington, everyone. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to save that tab, though. I'm going to pin that tab so we can take you back there whenever we need to. Oh, let's see. What else do we have? What else do we have? So we did the T-shirts at Bonfire. We did Wicker Basket. Sam Kenny is the music producer, and that might be all we've got for you today, people. So let's go out with a song. Let's go out with a song. Let's go out with a song. How about Science is Better Than Facebook? Let's see if that's a good one today. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. We've lost our sound. There, okay, it's going out. That's pretty weird. I can't tell where that music's coming from. It's got to be on the desktop, but yeah, that's weird. All right, folks. It's been good. Keep it real. I'll see you back here again, probably. Hard to say. Hard to say.